Foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad need pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see more Desto. Hit your thought, I'ma catch those. Mexicans, I make pesos. Hit your sus, I'll replace those. Never save no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Put numbers on the board, like them keep a score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet point to God.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist man, check the wrist man, got him hot. Ay, man can't ball like this.
Coach, for now, no snow in the forecast, but certainly plenty of scarves and mittens in the sea of orange at Broncos Stadium at Mile High, just west of downtown Denver. Just a short time ago, sounds loud enough to reverberate across the Rockies. They're ready for football in Denver as the Broncos get set to do battle with the Cleveland Browns. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Number 53, Mike 53. I'm coming.
Throwing here on first down. Flacco. A pass for Sutton is intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. I'm not sure exactly what they had planned for play number 1 from scrimmage, but I can guarantee it wasn't that interception.
No doubt about that one, because in their daydream, this was going to be a dream play to get things started. Instead, it turned into a nightmare for them.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak. Got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Flacco. Myles Garrett in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now after the sack, Flacco and the Broncos come up 3rd and long. Third and long for Joe Flacco. And way up past the 35 before he is taken down. The end result, 21 yards. Hamilton, the fourth-round pick, had a very productive career at Penn State where he was teammates with Saquon Barkley. And the tandem of he and Cortland Sutton brings some solid youth to that Bronco receivers room. And now the 24-year-old Hamilton hoping to build on what was a 30-catch campaign from a season ago as a rookie. Now the young man who was a Pro Bowler as an undrafted rookie, it's Phillip Lindsay. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Flacco's throw there, complete. And he takes this way down, deep into Cleveland territory. A huge play there for Denver, and even 50 yards.
First and goal at the 9-yard line.
Broncos with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They're looking at a first and goal from about the 9. They'll run with Lindsay. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 5 yards that time on the completion. And now it's third and goal. So they've gotten it to the 1. Can they get that final yard here on third and goal?
Let's go, D, let's go.
This is Royce Freeman, second-year man from Oregon. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that will bring up an interesting decision here on fourth and goal. And McManus able to put it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. The Browns drive about to get started. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on third and 9.
47's the mic. Run. Me and you, regular. Coming after you. I got you.
Now Mayfield. He finds Beckham complete. And he'll be out right at the 35. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a first down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on first and 10. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit. And that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up, and make those throws, and he did that.
Point it right, point it right, point it right. King.
Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. That one goes for 24 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart, because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Throwing, Mayfield. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Odell Beckham with touchdown number 15 on the year and second of the game. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Flacco finds his rookie first-rounder. It's Noah Fant. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards, a first down. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
After one, a 14-3 ball game. Second quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football as they are looking at a 2nd down and 6 coming up. On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
56 to Mike. 56.
Here's Flacco off the play fake to Lindsey. Incomplete. Both players were there offensively and defensively, but it falls incomplete.
All right, need you to check my eyes here. This entire unit defensively, I think, has looked really strong in the first half, especially in the secondary. They've been cohesive, fast to the football. We just saw another example arriving there to help knock that one away.
First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
You can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 25-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the buses.
Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Let's go.
3rd and short yardage. Mayfield going for the deep ball. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3-point CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
2nd and 10 at the 18-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
56. Mike, 56. Right there. 56.
Here's Flacco. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Operating out of the gun, Flacco. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Artie Burns. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything.
And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Nick Chubb, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Well, he had the big run to get down there, so you got to let him finish it off, don't you?
I think so, but what I liked even more, the fact that he wanted to finish it off. How many times have we seen a guy break off a big run, and we see that universal sign where he's tapping his helmet to get me out of the game? No! Stay out on the field and enjoy the benefits of the success you created.
And he hits pay dirt because of it. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Flacco fakes the give. Sets to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Ryan Shazier in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
2 sacks last week. Another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. They fake the handoff. Now Flacco to pass. He'll let this go deep and for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Demarius Randall, and he will return this one to the 30-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way. A dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. Ball on the 30 as they come up, 2nd and 10. A run for Nick Chubb. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. He was brought down there by Will Parks. Defense doing their job, really nowhere to run the football.
Yeah, it's almost textbook, wasn't it? Every place he tried to find an open spot, there just wasn't one. Congrats to the defense, no gain.
Called fitting your gaps, right?
I love it. You're exactly right.
Bravo! Check 13. Big time drive, let's go!
On 3rd down, Mayfield. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this is simply a great read by a defensive back. It's 3rd and 10, so he sits right on where the yard-to-gain marker is, knows it's going to be a route around that distance, makes his read, breaks on the football, and makes a terrific play.
Flacco going to bring up the Broncos 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
Gun.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Flacco to throw again on 2nd down. That'll be caught right side by Hamilton. A nice completion there by Joe Flacco, who's probably going to miss being able to play Cleveland twice a year. Gosh, in his 11 seasons as a starter in Baltimore, he was 17-3 against the Cleveland Browns, and now he'll try to get a victory in a Broncos uniform. A 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
At the 3-yard line.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Chubb. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So their move is to decline that so they don't get another second down. It'll be third.
So that has to tell us that they're pretty confident in their third down defense, right?
Absolutely.
Whether it's a sub package or nickel package, whatever they want to run out there, they feel like they can defend here on third down.
Mayfield to throw it. Flush to his, and he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. Derek Wolfe popping in for the sack. The Browns send out their punter now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out of there. And this is a pretty good kick. He'll take it at the 42. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10.
Let's go, D. Tighten up.
Flacco from midfield. Airing it out for Hamilton. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. That was close to a big play and just a little bit too far that he was led. He caught it but couldn't stay in bounds, Charles.
Yeah, I'm not very good at these sort of things, but I have to believe the farther you are downfield, the less your margin for error in throwing the ball, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so they gave it a good effort there. Really tried, just couldn't complete it.
To throw again on second down. Flacco. There goes a deep ball. End zone. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Check.
Let's Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Browns drive about to get started. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Hurry, hurry! Don't get nervous.
Shift! Watch the shift!
Rush in! Rush in! Rush in! Joker, joker! Joker, joker! Pistol, pistol, pistol. Tighten up!
They run it again with Chubb. Fighting down past the 45. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Check, 180! Check, 47. I want that.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. On the stop that time, it was Josie Jewell.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
From just shy of midfield, Mayfield. That is caught by the former Gator, Antonio Callaway. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 28.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
180! Check flag 47.
That's right, baby. They don't want it.
Check. Hey, alert, 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 alert. Brazzo.
Watch safety green. Watch
X3. 218. Watch out.
They give the Chubb out of the gun. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
47. All right, T, let's turn. All right, T.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Jarvis Landry, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Well, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Here's Flacco. Now a hit, and Flacco drops the football. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Browns. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. To pass, Flacco. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
You're over here. You're over here. I'm going back to you. Mike 50.
3rd down. Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. And the pressure gets to him again. Myles Garrett racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of it. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10.
180.
Stop your whining.
Here's Nick Chubb as they try to fire up this run game. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And again, it's Chubb. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the 1st down marker is here on 3rd. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the 1st. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Joe Schobert in there with pressure yet again. That is the 7th time that they have dropped him here this afternoon. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
That's the end of the third quarter. Broncos 3.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Flacco from the gun. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Myles Garrett, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Now after the sack, Flacco and the Broncos come up 3rd and long. 3rd down, Flacco from the gun. Over the middle, he's got Deshaun Hamilton. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The great blocking nearly sprung in there. 28-yard return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
180. Check back 47. Come on. You better bring it.
They run. Chubb. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Following the penalty, Chubb. The All-Pro Von Miller there on the tackle. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And he'll be stopped here well short of the 1st down at the 24-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down.
180. Check 47. Check out. Check the
And on 4th down, they come up and take the knee. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed, it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
Another run by Lindsey. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up. He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Landry now on the return. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. 8 yards, first down as they're able to convert.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They go with Chubb on second down. He's got the first down inside the 10, and he'll finally be taken down at the 2-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there.
First and goal at the 2-yard line.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Browns, they close out this first half at a very solid 6-2, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Denver, they are barely afloat as they fall to 4-5. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this as they're not back in action until week 11. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.